Back at it like some basketball addicts here on the Hangout with Montreal Mark, Sporting Phil, Dan Gladman, Junkyard. Okay, let's get into it. JYD, you are a guy who really understands the business side of the game, the marketing side of the game. You really did a good job of branding yourself as the Junkyard Dog, creating opportunities for people with what you could do with the game. Jason Collins, he is the leader of a group right now of young professional men who are coming out of the closet and taking a stand for their rights. But what I want to talk to you about is how big of a marketing opportunity is this for Jason Collins? Because a lot of people are looking at having gay athletes in the NBA maybe being a problem. It could actually be a positive in terms of you're exposing the game to a whole new set of people, bringing new revenue sources. So you talk to me a bit about that, because I know you were a guy who really did a good job of that.
Well, I mean, you know, from the moment Twitter lit up and all the questions and the answers of him coming out, being the first professional athlete, it just transcended. He's playing for a team that obviously is in New York and
Well marketed.
And what happens is jersey goes number one. That in itself shows that there's a place for not only Mr. Collins but other athletes
Like Michael Sam.
that can come in and if they can do the job, why not?
Yeah.
Because in the NBA, you know, we flat out, if you can put the ball in the hole, set screens, do whatever your skill is, if you can do it to the best of your ability and help our team win, you know, doesn't matter what you are.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
And one thing you can't teach, size.
Can't teach size.
My man is
Can't
7
teach
feet
size.
tall. All right, so let's jump into something else quickly. I'll jump into you, Dan, with you. Dan, I'll jump into this with you. It's happening to me. Okay, so let's get into it. The trade deadline was a little bit anticlimactic. So the question I'm posing right now is, does the structure of the new CBA kind of take the wind out of it? Because it's way more punitive to teams when they do stack up players and salaries. And it kind of makes second-round picks kind of more valuable, because if you do, you need cheap players at the end of your bench. So has it taken some of the wind out of the trade deadline?
Well, although a couple of good friends of mine are lawyers, I'm not much of a legal expert, and for me to even look at that CBA, I don't know if I'd get past page one or two.
I don't get the details.
But here's what I'll say. I've paid attention to this trade deadline for the last 10, 15 years of my professional life, and I don't really remember many things standing out in a big way. To me, the big trades in the NBA are always in the off season. There's always maneuvering going on. The sign and trades are really the big things that happen. And now, yeah, we're seeing guys getting released, bought out, and picked up by contenders. I just feel like this is what's been going on for several years now, and I don't really see any big changes in it.
All right, so let's just jump into it. Players changing teams. Phil, I'll start with you. Danny Granger gets bought out, of course. Sixers, they're tank mode, tank nation, tank whatever. The Clippers, who have been auditioning everybody from Hedo Turkoglu to Steven Jackson, they just added J.J. Redick. They've now added Danny Granger. You like this look for the Clippers?
I like this look. I've liked it since day one. As soon as he moved from Indiana to the 76ers, I was like, watch for this guy to get released. And you can check me on Facebook. Quote me on this one. I'm serious. And I'm like, look for him to go to the Clippers. They need some wing scoring. They have Dudley, sure they have Barnes, but a legit wing scorer.
And someone who can defend the wing too, I think. Dudley can't defend his position.
I don't know. Personally, I think he's got a little bit more defense than Granger, but I mean, it's kind of close. But the thing is that front court, you know, they do need some scoring when Blake goes away. So they did get Big Baby in the offseason as well, and Granger. They got rid of those two guys just before.
Okay, Montreal, let's cut to the chase.
There we go.
To the chase.
Here we go.
Are they the number one team now? Does this make them the contender?
With the addition of Big Baby and Danny Granger.
No. Because that front court outside of DeAndre Jordan is still lacking on the defensive end to me. Like if I'm an opposing team and I'm trying to drive against Blake Griffin and Danny Granger as a 3-4, I'm not overly. I'm worried at the point I get to the rim with DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre Jordan. You don't need
exactly.
You don't need them to be like. I mean, Big Baby's a big body. He's a big body that's gonna get in the way. Like I love the fact that he hits the floor, he dives on loose balls, he gets into the stands, he mucks it up.
Yeah, he's gonna rebound, but he's not the steal block guy. I mean, if it's just him, and if you're starting Jamal Crawford, if literally your wings are Crawford, Granger, and in front Griffin, I don't know. I still feel
I can put
that.
it on. You know who I put this on?
Who put this on?
Doc Rivers. He's the mastermind.
He's a Doc Rivers guy. So you're saying, well, But I mean, as a coach, you want your guys. No, he gets a system.
No, he's got a system. He's got weapons. Redick, Jamal Crawford. I mean, the best point guard in the game.
He's got offensive weapons.
Offensive weapons.
And he's got a defensive weapon in DeAndre.
Yeah, and DeAndre.
Where's your wing defense? I know you got Barnes and Dudley. I get it. But are you really going to play them big minutes when you have Granger?
Who's guarding Durant is basically what you're saying in the
Exactly.
playoff series. Who do they have who can stop Durant from scoring 40 a night?
I personally would put that responsibility on Matt Barnes because he's got that kind of toughness.
Okay, but if you do that, you're going to have to pick and say Granger, you're now on the bench, and maybe you're coming in when Griffin's stepping out. But that's big babies, right?
Hey, listen, this is why we do the show,
why
right?
not play him at the 2 then?
Granger at the 2? At 6'9", his weight? I don't think he has the ball handling or the lateral speed to pull it.
I would
at
worry
this
about
point.
the defense.
Hold on, but I'm saying if you got Jamal Crawford, you got those guys,
Yes.
you can. There's a lot of interchanging that can go
That is
on.
true.
I'm
'Cause
not
you can
worried at
just
all
come
about
in-
And this is coming from a
offensive
coach.
end.
Weapons and weapons and weapons. That's right. Shoot, I'm running.
It's about plugging in pieces.
CP3, take it to the house.
All right, listen. The last word goes to JYD in this segment. We will come back with more. Do remember, you are watching Canada's favorite basketball show. You know what we're talking
This
about.
is number one.
The Hangout. Yeah.
Number one show.